Hello, everyone. Paul Harrison here from Awake Accountancy. I just put together a little video here just to show you the use cases of ChatGPT. You remember when I gave the presentation at Blackpool CAN that we wanted to look at say five use cases of it, but there was an issue with the technology in the room, so I could only talk around those issues rather than demonstrate them. So now that I've got sat down and have been able to produce this video, I can produce these quick demos for you, so you can see it on your screen. So if you remember ChatGPT, if you go to the website openai.com, and you can set up a ChatGPT account. I use version 4, which is the paid for version, but there is the free version, which is version 3.5. And once you go into it, you can use it for a whole range of things. The first one I wanted to show you was how it can help you with data analysis. So what I've done is I've just to save time, I prepared a series of prompts. And what I wanted it to do was just to kind of look at 2 years worth of information, 2 years profit and loss accounts, and just give me some information as to what's going on between the 2 years. So what I'm going to say to it is I'm going to share with you the profit and loss accounts for this year and the previous year. I want you to act as my accountant and tell me whether there are any potential errors, and also tell me whether there's anything about the numbers that gives you cause for concern. So what I'll do first of all is I'll copy that and I'll paste this into ChatGPT. And if you press Shift and Enter, it drops down the line. If you just press Enter, it'll send it. Because what I want to do now is add the data. So I've just got made up numbers here, but just some profit and loss information just for a made up company, made up numbers. So I'll just copy those and paste it into here, and then send it. So you'll have to think about it. It's got a little square there, so as it's working on it. And here we go. What has it said to us? Right. First of all, revenue and cost of goods sold. Revenue, gross sales have increased significantly from 500,000 in 2022 to 745,000 in 2023, which is a positive sign. Well, that is a correct observation, but what sits underneath it? How much more analysis is this going to give us? The cost of goods sold is very low in both years, 75 and 74, especially compared to the revenue. This might be correct if the business has low direct costs, is a service-based business, but if this is a product-based business, these figures seem unusually low. The calculations themselves seem consistent. However, you should verify all the relevant costs are included. It's a very logical point that it's making. Basically, we're saying that sales have gone up significantly, but the cost of providing those sales hasn't really moved. So it's just an idea of how useful this tool can be, because it is actually flagging a very, very important point here. I mean, if there's an error in these figures, it's getting quite close to picking it up, or if something doesn't look quite right, it's pressing all the right buttons, it's flagging it. And you see, it goes into quite significant analysis: gross profit, expenses, net operating income, potential errors and concerns. So, as I just read out, cost of goods calculation. It says it's all seems fine, but the cost of goods sold seems low. Is there something missing? Miscellaneous expenses, consider breaking these down further. Yes, there's one thing with accounting is when you get stuff dropped into the other category or the miscellaneous category, and those numbers can end up being quite material at times. So you'd always want to kind of ensure that those are broken down. And so ChatGPT is correctly flagging that. So that's data analysis, and it's not done a bad job. I mean, if this was something that I was doing myself, I'd be probably pulling similar themes and concerns out of it. So it's actually not a million miles of where it need to be. Of course, if you use AI in any form, you always want to verify and double check the results, but this isn't a bad job. So The next use case that I wanted to look at was looking at kind of how to simplify tax summaries. So if you remember, there's a discussion in the room around staff entertaining, and the £150 annual allowance. So what you can use this for is you can jump onto the HMRC websites, kind of get hold of the latest tax information straight from the website, which is up to date, and drop it in to GPT and ask it to give you a really neat summary. So let us try that now. So if I go to my browser here, so as you can see, I've jumped onto the HMRC site. I've just jumped into staff entertaining, annual parties, social functions. What I'll do is I'm just going to copy this page. There we go. So Control C, and then go back into ChatGPT. I'll start a new chat for this. Okay, actually, what I shall do, first of all, let me put the prompt in first. So again, to save time, here it is. So it says, I'm going to supply you with some tax guidance notes from HMRC. Respond with, I have seen these notes, once I've supplied you with them, and await my next instruction. So let us do that first. So, I understand. Please provide the notes when you are ready. Okay, so go back to the HMRC website. So Control C to copy those, and then paste them into here. There we are. And then send that. I have these notes. Perfect. So what it's done is it's taken all that blurb from the HMRC website and basically brought it all in now, and it's ready to answer questions around it. So what we can do is, first of all, we could say, please summarize this information in less than 500 words, suitable for a blog post or a newsletter. So let us try that. So there you go. And off he goes. Very, very quick, very efficient. And if you've got really large amounts of data, really large amounts of complex tax work that you've just pasted in straight from the HMRC website, this is a really good tool for just working through it all and pulling out the key points. So what is it saying to us? It says HMRC provides an exemption from tax for employees and directors attending annual social functions such as Christmas parties or summer barbecues, etc., etc. The key criterion for the exemption is that the event must be an annual occurrence, meaning it happens once a year and on a recurring basis. One-off events such as celebrations for a company's 25th anniversary do not qualify. For the exemption to apply, the cost per head of the event must not exceed £150. This figure is not an allowance, but an absolute limit. So if an employer hosts multiple annual events, the £150 threshold applies in aggregate. So this is making very, very a good summary. I mean, if you didn't, if this was still quite hard to read, the good thing about ChatGPT is you can ask it to send it again, and it will reword it for you. Or you could just say to it, very helpful, but please, can you rewrite this as if I was a 10-year-old, so it is easier to understand. Oh, here we go. And there we are. It's making it appropriate for a much younger audience. I mean, it could take me hours to do this myself, and that's literally taken 15, 20 seconds. A very, very powerful tool. So as a follow-up to that, what else could we do? Well, we could ask around, our use case. So here I said, I have a client who wants to take a team out for staff entertaining lunch at Christmas. what should they do and by when, based on these HMRC rules. So if we drop that in now, let's see what it says. To ensure your client's Christmas staff lunch is tax efficient and follows HMRC guidelines, here's what they should do. Check the cost per person. Ensure it's not going to exceed the £150 per person. Plan for all employees. Make sure the lunch is available to all employees, either at one location or across different sites. Calculate the costs. Divide the total cost of the event by the number of people attending to ensure that you stay within the £150 limit. Timing: the lunch should be planned and paid for before the end of the tax year. It's pretty much, as I said, if you've got, a complex area and you want to have a rough idea of how that law impacts, a scenario that you're faced with, just using this approach is quite a useful way to, giving you a start as to, what does all this mean, for you in terms of the tax. Of course, like I say, with AI, there's always a chance that, something could go wrong. And I'd always want to get any complex advice double checked by a professional, of course. But, if you need to just do something quick, you just want a rough idea of, what the law means for you, is, quite a good way of doing it. And use the approach like I just showed of go onto the HMRC website or Company's House or whoever, depending on whatever you're looking at, and get the information from there. Because if you remember, GPTs, it was loaded. I think it's loaded up to like something like 2021. The more recent versions maybe 2022. That's what the model's loaded with, and so it's not got any information in its memory banks after then. But the way we're doing it is we're getting around that because we're actually downloading from the internet the most latest law, dropping it into ChatGPT, and then asking it to base its answers on this law that we've just updated. So you're looking at the most up-to-date information. So that's the kind of like the second use case. To start another chat, if you just click on the ChatGPT point up here, and another area, where it's incredibly useful is brainstorming ideas. So it's Friday afternoon, you're tired, you need to come up with, like, say, 10 new ideas on a particular area. It's a very, very useful tool for doing it, where, as for myself to do it, I'm probably getting a bit tired by the end of the week, thinking about the weekend, need a bit of rest. But this, is an amazingly helpful tool that will just keep on going, 24/7, 365 days a year. So what we're going to say here is like, I'm an accountant and I'm looking for some ideas for a blog post about community interest companies in Blackpool. Can you provide me with 5 possible blog posts that discuss different ways of raising finance? For each blog post idea, please include 3 main points that I should cover. So there's my prompt. And again, I've just written these out early, just so we can save a bit of time. So jump into ChatGPT, paste that prompt in there, and send it. So here we go. Here are 5 blog post ideas related to raising finance for community interest companies. So crowdfunding, harnessing the power of the community, grants and funding opportunities for CICs. And again, I asked it to give me 3 subpoints within each. So, this is it's doing it. Social investment, attracting impact investors, loan financing, accessing affordable credit, partnerships and joint ventures, collaborating for financial success. Very, 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 very good, very, relevant points. It's done exactly what I asked it for. But, again, it's like, you can regenerate the answer if you weren't happy with this. This is on this little arrow box here. If you just press regenerate, just say, for example, I wasn't too pleased with the original answers, it'll go away and come up with a new set, and you can keep on doing this to your heart's content until you see stuff that you really like. So here we go. It's going to give me 5 more, and all the little sub points within there. So I asked it to come up with ideas for blog posts. Let's ask it to actually write the post for us. Save us even more time. It's Friday afternoon. We're all getting tired. Please write me this post, save me some effort. So let's write it for number 5. So there we go. Please give me the blog post outline for number 5. Title: Revenue Generation, Sustainable Income Streams for Community Interest Companies in Blackpool. There you are. I think it writes at about 3,500 words a minute. So there we go. So there's an outline for my blog post. Looks sensible. And what we can do finally, just as the last thing, is say, let's write it for us. That's post in there. That's a great outline for this blog post. Can you please suggest 3 alternative attention-grabbing headlines for this blog post? Okay. Unlocking financial stability. Yeah, there you go. Mission-driven profits, from surviving to thriving. Something to really hook the audience's attention. So anyway, hopefully that gives you a little bit of an insight into how useful this tool can be. Certainly with my accountancy practice, is something that I'm, exploring in, great depth. I think it's an amazing, productivity and time-saving tool. I think this is going to be, kind of like a significant part of the future, particularly in accounting. But yeah, let me know what you think. Grateful for any feedback. Hopefully this has been useful. And yeah, if there's ever anything, you want to discuss further on it, please do let me know. So yeah, once again, thank you for attending that session at the Blackpool CAN, a few weeks ago. I'll send the slides along with this video. But yeah, any questions, if you need a chat around anything accountancy, please do, give me a call. So yeah, once again, it's Paul Harrison from Awake Accounting. And yeah, it's, it was great. Thank you for the opportunity, to demonstrate this material to you. Thank you. Take care. Bye.